I got this Honda Odyssey 2008. It has the noise coming from what seemed like the timing cover at the moment. I've messed around with this for like an hour with the stethoscope, looking around, playing with the data and the computer system, seeing what my options were, disabling cylinders and oil the injector, see if the noise changed or not. But from what I found out through Identifix, because it saved my ass before, and just like this case here, it kind of saved my ass because I was under the impression this noise sound like a spinning main bearing or something. Something's rotating and getting caught, causing that squealing noise. Because when you rev it up, it goes away. Down low, starts to come back. And let you hear it. Now I thought it was coming from like the valve cover or valve or something, but the valve would make like a ticking noise. Thought it was like oil probably squeezing or something, but you wouldn't get that type of noise. It's a tick here too. So you would think it's like a belt, serpentine belt related. It's not. So from what I found out, it's going to be timing belt related, and I'm gonna have to pull off the motor mount and pull a timing cover down and see if that's what the issue is. There was a technical service bulletin on this, so hopefully I'm in the right spot. And based off of the chirping, based off of what I've seen on Identifix, this seems like this is where we need to be heading. So I'm gonna pull this down tomorrow. I'm not gonna mess with it today. I just wanna let you hear the noise. I'm gonna mess with it when it gets cold and I get the urge to wanna touch this car. So we'll be back. Today is the next day. I'm gonna start pulling this stuff down to access that motor mount bracket here on the passenger side. So again, I'm gonna I got the accessory belt off. I'm gonna start it up, see if the noise persists, just out of curiosity. If it don't, then I'm gonna obviously tackle something accessory related. If it do, then I'm gonna continue with pulling down the components to get the timing cover off and that motor mount bracket. So let me start it up. All right, yep, continue to make noise. So right now I'm gonna tear down the timing cover. I'm just gonna go with the bottom half because I swear I should be able to get the bottom half and then take the motor mount out and the 3 bolts that hold that mount bracket. So pull the crank pulley, lower cover. Well, I think I gotta pull off the top covers to pull the lower cover. Yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do without having to pull the top covers off. But more than likely, I'm gonna have to at least pull. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull a cover. I don't think there's no way around it. Now I'm gonna still have to pull the power steering pump. All right, let me make some things happen. When I get down to the crank pulley, then I'll show you what I'm pulling off there. But for the most part, these are cut and dry. There's a crap ton of videos on the internet as far as pulling these timing covers off, and we just need to see the main components of what's going on here. So I just want to put my eyeballs on that and show everybody what I got going on, and if it confirms the technical service bulletin. So when we pull all the timing cover off and get right there at it, we'll look at that idler, knock up or rub up against the bracket. Go with the reservoir. Usually I'll just lay them off to the side, but that needs to be cleaned out. So it looked like the tensioner was replaced before, and that's probably the only thing they replaced on here. Unfortunately, I'm thinking. I might be wrong, because normally this is a good indication right around here if the water pump has been replaced on Hondas or not. And because the bolts go straight through the pump to the block. This looks clean. Right here where this bolt go, unless the power steering pump was just leaking there and it just looks dirty, but normally it'll keep its cleanliness. Yeah, this probably hasn't been replaced, unfortunately. It's the same color as the mount bracket, and that's just the indication of age. I'm gonna pull the tensioner off down here at the bottom. Oh gosh, I know y'all want to see me fight with this crank bolt. Don't worry, I am. I want to. Oh shit, this is loose. This one even on there really. Yeah, somebody's already been back here. And again, look at the tensioner. This tensioner is brand new. I'm not saying they were careless, but there's signs of human error. Okay, what was that? Something fell. I don't know what it was. Alright, let's fight with this harmonic balancer. See what happened. Hopefully they left it on loose. You never know. Next one, Harbor Freight earthquake. Nope. So instead of me using my tool, I'm gonna put some heat on it, let it sit for a while, and run it off with the impact gun again. That should work. Now you want to be careful about this because the cavity with the bolt, if you put too much heat in there, it creates pressure, and it could blow up. You can have a little small explosion. So once I break it loose, just let it get some of the threads out and wait on it to cool down and depressurize. Give about 2 minutes and try it, see what happens. I have a couple options. I could use the earthquake, the air, and that usually will work also. I got 150 psi of air pressure going through it, so I'm gonna try that electric first. I might get lucky. There you go. Yep. It's loose. 2 minutes worth of heat. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit and cool down. It hasn't been 2 minutes. Here we are. This is what we're looking at, and this is pretty tight on there too. So yeah, the time belt, tensioner, and all that stuff was replaced. I don't think the water pump was. No, that looked like a factory water pump. Call me crazy. I swear, like a factory water pump. Let's start it up. Let's spray some oil on it and see if it shuts up.
Oh, I need to put the bonnet balancer on there. How can I do that? The timing cover should hold it though. I think the timing cover should do a good job holding on to it. Not the timing cover. There's some guides on the actual pulley. Let me just I'll just do this, just so I don't potentially damage the engine. We're gonna put this back on there and put the crank bolt back on it. And I can hit it with some penetrant from here. Ouch, God! Oh my God, it's hot. Ooh. Let's start it up. Nope. Filming because I had to get I started taking off this bracket here. It was pretty tight, so I had to use one of these stubby extensions. I got these from Harbor Freight. So you'll put it in the back of the socket and you'll be able to put a ratchet or like a wrench on it, a boxing wrench to get in tighter places. That's what I had to use to get to that top one up here in the corner and just walk it out. So I just got to get the last one off from the bottom, and then I'll be able to pull the motor mount bracket out and see if there's any type of signs of wear. And last thing I'm gonna do is check the water pump. That's the only thing I can do, because otherwise, if it's not here, then it's gonna be something internal. I just have to go through a process of visual and elimination, because I don't know any other way of testing it. Let's go on to the bottom. So these are 14s. This is the last bolt I have to remove. Alright. So here's the thing, it looked like it was rubbing up against the housing here, right where the TSB was referring to. You see that round area there. Well, yeah, I can feel a groove in here too. There's a groove. I'm surprised the oil didn't do anything. Unless I'm tripping. Might be crazy. Let's start it up. There's another spot here, but this is where the time belt rides. Not, it doesn't ride there, but it's probably what's hidden. So let's take a better look up in here. Quite obviously, I'm gonna start it up. Let's see what's going on, because what if it's the water pump? Could be something like that. I mean, this looked like some discoloration here. Let's start it up and see what happens. I'm just curious, what if I just pull the cover off for the bearing and pull the insulation off, the rubber cover, and see if it's deficient in grease or anything, and if so, clean it out, hit it with some brake cleaner, see what happens. But when I looks dried up in there. Let me get the camera up in there so you can see it. 'Cause we might, if I hit it with some oil while it's running, rotating, we might be in luck. Wish me luck. I'm a little confused, man. Could it be the water pump? Because it's a factory water pump that's still on there, and it has like a lot of miles on it. I've never heard a water pump chirp, but I've had wheel bearings on vehicles do the same thing. So I know it could be a strange phenomenon as to what's going on with the water pump. I mean, I'm not saying that it can and can't happen, but wheel bearings and just grease bearings and pulleys fail in so many different ways. So it wouldn't surprise me, being that it's original water pump, that may be our culprit. And because the noise is centered in the engine like that, and it's very particular with low RPM, it wouldn't surprise me if it's that, and I would feel better at least pulling it off, seeing if that's the case. And I hate to shoot apart at it, but if the people who did the time belt didn't do the water pump with it, and I highly, this water pump isn't new, and again, it's just the color isn't new. The discoloration on there is questionable, like heat. So I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but from where the noise, the vicinity of the noise, it just doesn't seem like it might not be a bad idea. Because if this was an internal problem, I would have saw oil pressure problems. The oil pressure is fine at 14 psi at idle during 200-degree temperatures. Let me see if he's cool with replacing the water pump, and when I pull it off, we'll go from there. So I got the okay to replace the water pump. I have the vehicle, the engine at top dead center. All my time marks are lined up. What I'm going to do is pull the tensioner off, see about the components related, the tensioner, idler, water pump, rotate all those, see what happens. It's got to be one of these components. The water pump is old, it's discolored. Look at that. You probably can't see it that good, but it just has a heat. It just looked warped at the pulley. So I mean, I can't help but to think that water pump's just likely going to be the problem. Hope I'm right. Hopefully I am. So let me get everything down, and I'll inspect everything. We'll both inspect it and see what it looks like, see what's going on. And hopefully it's that. All right, I got a AutoZone timing belt on here, new components. I just went ahead and bought just everything, got a whole component set, a new belt, so there's no excuse in case the belt was actually chirping. So got a new belt, new tensioner, new idler. The kit did come with seals and stuff. They need to put those on there. I didn't use them, so I just need to pull the grenade pin and start it up, see what happens. So that's that. Did back off the timing and then go back forward, and it's lined up
pretty good. So I'm kind of doubting myself at the moment, just like I think anybody else probably would. I don't want to condemn this motor to be bad, but I don't know any other thing that could cause that strange noise besides either belt chirping or a bad pulley. Because these motors don't have balance shafts in them, you know, and a valve causing that noise just seems abnormal. I did spray like a fluid inside the intake to see if it'll, you know, free up anything, but it doesn't make any sense because this isn't direct injection. The gas is going to lubricate the valves. It's going to prevent it from making noises. So it doesn't make any sense for that. There's no intake runners inside the intake manifold here, so I think I'm in the right direction. It just doesn't make any sense for anything else to be. I'm really doubting myself right now. So let's start it up. Let's see what happens. I need to put the harmonic balancer on first, and then we'll see what happens. Let me get this camera set up. I already did the sigh of disbelief in case it don't work, but here goes nothing. It's still there. The noise is literally still there. Well, I guess I'm living up to my name. I'm shooting apart at it. Let me think for a second, because damn it. Well, it's a no-go. Didn't fix it. So the only other thing I'm gonna do, I put my stethoscope again to it, and the noise is very prominent here at the ACM. So I'm gonna pull that off, pull the intake off, pull the front valve cover off, inspect that, and see what happens. And maybe I'll find something out. But if I stick it here, it's super loud, super loud. So I'm gonna check it's a rotating type noise. This is my last shot. Let's see what happens. All right, so I got some good news and bad news. Good news is I found the problem, and the bad news is we're gonna see how invasive it is. So this is front bank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna go to cylinder 4 and look at this cam here. Look how ate up that is. Here's the other lobe. This looks fine. That one should look fine. This is our problem. Now I hate that I wasted a lot of time, but I am kind of curious, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking about in a second. Let's go to the cam pedestal. So this is gonna be 4 here, so this should be the corresponding rocker. I want to say, wait. It's gonna be this one, because I had it flipped around the other way. This goes here. All right, so we're on, this is 4. So let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, look at that bearing. Look how ate up that is. Doesn't run and roll that well neither. Let's see if it's... So this answers my question. You know, and I'm gonna be honest, the first thing I thought of was like, oh, let me go check the valves and stuff, and I didn't. And the TSB, the validation of a dealership, and me not googling, but going on Identifix and seeing what the chirping noise could be. I mean, I don't know. You know, there was nothing
there's nothing specific correlated with this noise that I'm dealing with. This is the first time I've ever had to deal with this, so it'd be like that. And you're gonna pay a premium one way or another, and not everything can go right. So this is educational purposes that it's time and money. Time is money. So now what I'm thinking is, what if I grind this down, and will it work? Like, if I was to take that lip off on the side of the cam, would that actually do anything? It may not have the lift, but will that noise go away? I'm just very curious. And I'm gonna call the owner, because this camshaft looked pretty new. This look like it's new. I never seen this. Normally the cam will be the color of the head here, like a golden brown color. I don't know, I'm gonna call him, see what he wanna do. Maybe I can put something in there and just grind it down and see if the noise goes away. Because I mean, it's gonna do what it's gonna do regardless. It's nothing catastrophic. It runs, it's just that noise. And this makes perfect sense as to why this noise is present. So I wonder if I can just grind it down, make it look a little smoother. Will it go away? I'm gonna call him, see what we wanna do. I'm pretty sure he wanna take a cheaper route and see if it works, but we'll be back. Well, called the guy, see what he wanna do, and he went along with let's trying to grind down the camshaft. So I'm gonna get this cam at a reasonable height. I'm gonna try to get it up top here and see if I can get some towels underneath and take a Dremel, grind it down. We're just gonna see what happens. I can't make any promises it's gonna do anything, but I'm gonna try to get the area as prepped as possible, and wish me luck. Let's see what happens. The plan, like I said, just to round that off, get the big edges off, and see if it works. I ain't gonna lie, I feel almost like a regular cam now. That lip is gone. Took that out. As far as how it rolls, I mean, that's a different question. Let me show you. Yeah, I took the lip right off of it. It's gonna have some imperfect spots, but I mean, the goal is to take that lip out, and because I think that's what's causing the rub up against the roller on the rocker arm, and that's what's probably causing that noise. Should be. You know, logically, it sounds like it. I mean, if we put our eyeballs on it and can see it, and the noise is over in this area. So I'm gonna vacuum this area up really good and put everything back. Let's see what happens. All right, everything's put back together. 20 minutes later. I've done this not once, not twice, but a handful of times before, so this engine's not that hard for me to service, as y'all could probably see in the past. All right, ground down the cam, and I got those rough spots, those hot spots taken care of. The noise was on this side, it was very prominent. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Battery's there. It's cool. I got a jumper I'm hooking up. So, all right, let's see what happens. Damn it. So the bearing needs to be replaced. The tone changed. I wonder if it's gonna get like lubricated and then it'll shut up. I'm just curious. But it's obviously the bearing. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit, and I wonder if if it'll fix itself. You know, it's not a big deal because, I mean, as long as it takes to pull them down, I could run into the junkyard, grab a whole nother one, and just replace that rocker and be in good shape. But let's see if it cleared up though. I don't think so. I think I might have to go to the junkyard and just get another one. I mean, the cam probably worked, but the bearing was just screwed up. So, that is cool. Let me see what I'm gonna do. It's been several days, and I pulled the, obviously you see the cam pedestal, the rock arm pedestal sitting up here. So I'm gonna get a better visual inspection of what I'm dealing with, and also I got a new part. So I got that from partsgeek.com. I'm gonna show you that, and I'll just have to reglue this VTEC solenoid there. But let's take a better look at what was going on, because my thing is like that squeaking. That's just, I need to make sure I gotta get some of those off anyway, some of the bolts out. But this, let me see, if I roll the one that was obviously broken, and it's got a lot of play in it, this one rolls smooth. But all these, which one? This one's getting replaced. Hopefully I got the right one. Man, I'll be hurt. Hoping I do. So I gotta pull the springs are coming out. Put those back in the same spot. So the flat end goes on the base of the rocker, so it has an imprint here. These are the same length, so I imagine it doesn't matter where they go. I need to go on the other side anyway, so this is not the side I need to be dealing with. I can put these back. I don't know if they're gonna hold or not, but I'll put them back anyway. There. So I'm gonna have to pull, I don't have to pull the bolts out to get that out. Probably got like locks in there with the bolts. These all should be look like they're the same length. Yep. Let's see what happens. I should be able to pull it out. I ain't gonna lie, this is my first time doing this. I haven't had to replace these. Never had this issue. Obviously, you can tell. Hopefully I don't got to pull the spring out from the other side. I might have to pull yeah, I might have to. We're gonna see. I might get lucky. Let's see if it'll just fall out on its own. Better inspection. Yep, there we go. And pull it out as one. So those notches in the shaft there is what the bolts go through and keep it retained. Uh-oh, let me see what we're dealing with. There's no other pieces. That's where the spring goes there. Here's the problem child. I can kind of see the needle bearings. Let me see if there's any of them missing. We're going to compare this to the other one. Under like significant load though, I guess it hits a rough spot, because I mean there's a lot of pressure on there. Spring at the top here. Keep an eye on that. I want to match it up exactly. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Here we go. This is from Parts Geek, and this is what they gave me. All right, so I guess that's the part number right there, or barcode one. Here's the contents. As much as this stuff costs, it better be OEM. So we got that piece right here. The roller in the back. Look how thick this is. This definitely look a lot thicker. It's got a little bit of side-to-side play, but it's definitely thicker. And these rocker arms will definitely need to be adjusted. So and we got the actual rocker arm. So there's a cup and spring. There's a bushing. No, it's not a bushing. It's definitely a cup there. I don't know the technical name for them. There's a spring there, so. Laid out in front of me and still screw up. The spring just feels smaller though. Look how the recess is just different. So this must go in here to fill that void. Yeah. And then this goes in there. Goes in there. Am I tripping? I think I've done it wrong. There we go. Why does it feel so wrong? So I got it in backwards. Here's the new one. Got good bearing clearance, I want to say. It just feels stiff. I can't push down on the bearing and sink in. And, uh-oh. Let me get this installed shortly. Just the old one. I know I had some bad spots in there. I don't. You know, it's weird that it had that squeaking noise though. I mean, logically, I mean, unless it was hitting that rough spot, you know, it does have a lot of pressure on the cam, and it would go away at after a certain RPM. I guess it, under pressure and rotation, it does its thing. All right, let me get this back in here, and I can put this vehicle back. We'll see if it's running normal. I'll look down that hole, find that notch, get it around. Probably. Wouldn't have been a bad idea to mark it. You can see it though. Alright, I'm gonna put the spring back in there. There we go. Yep. I'm gonna take a peek at these other ones. I mean, I was just curious, but the noise was in this vicinity. I mean, it was blatantly bad. Here I am reasoning with myself now, because I could be wrong. I'm gonna be hurt. The noise start up again. I'm like, I quit. Where's the other one? I know it's installed probably because I looked back at the camera, so I had to make certain. Alright, we'll see if my hack job resolved this issue or not. Now I'm going to get the #1 cylinder at top dead center and then adjust the valves. I do have a video, if I recall, when I did the head gasket on the Accord, how to adjust these valves. Honestly, I just adjust everything at 9,000s. So I mean, some people may shy on that, but cars ain't broke that I've done them with, and they run great. So, all right, I had to turn the fan off because I need to hear every single thing when I start this up. This is gonna be the first startup. Seriously, I did not start this up. You can hear it in my voice because there's still some doubt in my voice. I'm excited, and then I'm just like, oh gosh, I screwed something up. So here I am casting doubt and playing with this bearing again. It's like, could it have been? Could it not have been? I mean, it was obviously broken. I'm just going through looking at needle bearings. Yep, there's some missing. I wonder if you can see that corner right there. See that little gap? There's no needle bearings in there. So I feel a little better because they're gone. Feel a little better, but yeah, oh wow, I felt that bind. I just rotated it just right and I felt some binding. I'm either gonna be a failure or a successful failure. Shoot, because I mean, I patched it up. Here goes nothing. Let's see what happens. Well, I'll be damned. fix something else. How about that? Yeah, I am my own worst critic, I ain't gonna lie. But I did screw up looking for the issue. So give me credit in a way, you know, for finding that the water pump needed to be replaced. I mean, when whoever buy this car, because he's gonna sell the car. Unfortunately, they're getting the patched up cam, but it works though, right? I mean, that was I followed instructions, you know, this is what it is. So crazy that was my first time ever dealing with this. I have never dealt with this type of issue before in my life, and now I know. I don't have other people I can call on. Mechanics typically call me. I found it on Identifix on the latter part of things because there was the only thing I found was that chirping was correlated with the water pump, and the noise based off of what I was hearing, where it was, human error, somebody already been through it, you know. Either way, it's fixed. So I mean, I do want to add that I did doing a repair. This was simple. It took no more than like 40 minutes of pulling everything off. I've done a lot of these, obviously. I keep saying that, but so I did adjust the valves at 8,000. I said 9, but I just said at 8. That's what my filler gauge had on there. And these valves are typically pretty tight, so I like them a little loose. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I don't know how long it's gonna last. It's a patched up job. We'll see what happens. He says he's gonna sell it. I mean, it works, runs good. The cam lobe is okay. We got hydro lubrication. You know, it's gonna keep the cam from failing prematurely, I guess. Either way. But look, if anything happened, I'll definitely update. Hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed how the original's gonna work. See you on the next one.